trigger warning for talks of abuse and suicide in the next story.
Story 3. Coworker is threatening to go postal. Okay. Recently at my work, maybe a couple months ago, we hired Austin. He seemed sweet at first, but we quickly came to find out that he not only had a temper, but that temper is let out with violence. A customer upsets him, he goes to the back room and beats the hell out of the lockers or other inanimate objects until his knuckles are bleeding and the metal is bent. Oh my god. He was charged a few years ago with domestic abuse against his own father, who chose not to press charges. He had told me it was for smuggling cocaine, but a coworker looked it up, as in our state it is publicly accessible. I don't know about other places. We found nothing about cocaine, only about the brutal beating of his father. He frequently threatens to kill himself. That's not the sentence for me to mess up my R's. He weed buttons. Sorry. I should note here, nobody has ever given him a reason not to like us. We've always been kind and caring. Our co-workers are our family. It's a small, locally owned shop, and we all care for each other and extended our love and welcome to him. Nobody has done anything to cause what I'm about to say next. Now I've learned within the past 25 hours, he has told 3 coworkers of ours, if I call you up and I say not to come to work, don't show up. I'm going to give this place what it deserves. Oh my god. I'm stressed reading this. Okay. He has told other people that he's going to go postal, shoot up the store. The owner and Austin's direct manager laughed it off to our faces saying, yeah, right, like he'd ever do that. That's stupid. Nobody would do that. Don't waste the police's time. However, the other department managers, as well as the rest of us, are highly concerned. Of course, we have no proof other than his word. Recently, he had a seizure and his head hard enough to crack his skull. He has not been allowed back to work due to medical reasons, obviously. He was sort of seeing one of our coworkers, who has been trying for weeks to distance herself, as he goes from being sweet to throwing fists, cussing, yelling, and cursing at her with no instigation. It has gotten worse since his head injury. I really feel as though we could be in serious danger. Should I give the police an anonymous tip anyway? I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty unsettled. I've been shaking all day. I can't die here. I just got married a few months ago. I might be having a baby soon, I'm not sure yet. My husband, who I've been dating for 12 years, he would be devastated. I can't leave him like that. What should I do, guys? I'm scared. There is an update.
Right.
Thank you for all your support. I just got off the phone with the police. There's no way they can guarantee my anonymity since the officers want to speak with myself and my coworkers on site. I requested that the operator make note that I called and I would contact all of my coworkers to who Austin made the comments to. I will see if everyone can meet at my house so we can tell the police exactly what was said. I will give you all a further update at 6 p.m. when my time rolls around and the store is closed. I think it's good that you called the police. Yeah, I will never take one of those things like lightly. I'm like, of course they're just joking around.
No, there's literally, there's so many signs. That is one thing for a lot of planned pew-pews. Mm-hmm. There's signs before, and they're telling people don't come to school this day or don't go here this day. And to say that they're actually going to do it, that's terrifying. Mm-hmm. That is absolutely terrifying to not want to go to work because you don't know if your coworker is going to go fucking crazy.
Right. Yeah, there's like very clearly like documented signs and evidence of him being very unstable.
Yeah.
So for the bosses not to take it seriously, that would be enough to get me to look for another job.
Yep. Same.
Yeah, I don't want to work there anymore because you don't take my safety seriously.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I will say when we first started reading the story, before we got into the abuse stuff, mm-hmm. I was like, oh, it's like Andy from The Office.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You know what? Honestly, Andy should have had an HR on his ass a little bit more.
But yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of people should have had
the whole office.
The whole office needed Toby to step his fucking game up.
Yeah, Toby was just there hoping Pam chose him. It wasn't going to happen.
No, and you should have gone to HR for that too, bitch. What the?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Honestly, yeah. So my first job out of college, the first day I got hired, I was told, hey, don't let this guy in. I didn't know what the guy looked like. They really didn't give any descriptive details. This is my first week. Because apparently, like a couple days before I got hired, he was in the control room. And this guy was like kind of like badgering him as he was trying to fix something. And the guy badgering him just flicks his nipple. Which is a weird thing to do, I will admit. But then, as he's fixing it, he looks at him, takes his screwdriver, points it at the other guy's neck. He's like, don't fucking touch me again. So then it becomes a whole thing. This guy gets fired. People like, he's gonna like come up here and shoot us all up. Week 1.
How?
They're like, don't let him in. I was like, I don't know what he looks like. So I'm just not gonna let anyone in.
Yeah. I have a silly story and a not so silly story.
Yeah, okay.
Silly story first.
Silly story first.
When I worked at the theme park that I worked at, the people who worked there, who had my contract before me, got transferred to a different contract because one of the guys who didn't work for us but worked for the other company, he kept coming in. One of the guys that was like the manager was gay, and so he would come in and like flirt with him all the time. Mm-hmm. But then like run away back to his territory because he wasn't allowed to like be over there.
Yeah.
And one time he came over there and he ripped his shirt off and started waving it around in the restaurant area, and then climbed on top of the walk-in freezer and was saying that the manager, the other guy, was going to R-word him. But like joking.
Okay.
And so the other guy was like, get down. And then the big manager from the whole park came over and was like, you guys need to leave.
Yeah.
No, when I heard that story, I was like, that's fucking crazy.
Wild.
Who does that? Second story.
Story number 2.
It was not a very long story. It's very brief. But I worked at this pizza place in Austin that was in a very centralized location that everybody would go to.
Yeah.
And I was on the slice side, and so it was open really, really late. And the inside wasn't open super late. The outside was, but the inside would still be open super late. But in the area I was in, there were a lot of like houseless people.
Okay.
And this very specific guy would come in and kick and bite people if they didn't buy him a slice of pizza. So every single time we saw him come in, we'd have to be like, get out. And he would leave, but yeah.
I mean, I guess that's one way to get people to buy you pizza.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Huh.
Very interesting. Yeah. Just straight up kicking and biting people.
Never had that thought cross my mind that I should just start kicking and biting people.
I had a person at the same theme park, try to jump through the ordering window and fight me. Yeah.
For what?
Because the park was closing and they were mad because they were kicking everybody out of the park. So they threw water on my face first and then started trying to climb through the window. So
this is evidence that more people need to go to therapy.
Yes.
Because it's like you shouldn't be that mad at this. So clearly you have something else going on that you really need to dive into.
Yeah.
For the love of God. Because like
I've had a lot of like actually crazy experiences. Like looking back on it now. Well, I'm glad that you're okay.
Yeah, when was this?
That's very good that you're okay.
5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And they're deleted. So I think they're okay.
Hopefully they're okay.
Fingers crossed you made it out, buddy. But yeah, I'm glad you went to the police because like...
Yeah, I hope that person gets help, truly, and doesn't hurt anyone else because that's so scary. You know what's really scary? Brain injuries.
Brain injuries are terrifying.
They're so scary because you can have a seizure and have your skull crack and become a completely different person. Completely not have the same likes, dislikes, same thoughts or wants for your future.
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, too, it makes people worse. Like, worse people. They become really violent and angry. There's a scientific reason for that. I'm not smart enough to tell you.
Yeah. I will say, the car crash that I mentioned earlier, I definitely got a concussion from that. Like, definitely got concussed. But I was like, what's the doctor going to tell me, that I have a concussion? So I didn't go to the doctor.
In this economy?
Yeah. But I definitely notice there's a rift.
Yeah.
Because I get tongue-tied a lot easier. I still have brain fog from it. Brain frog. What did I tell you? This didn't happen before that concussion. I've had a lot of concussions, to be fair.
Yeah.
But that was a big one. But yeah, brain injuries are so scary. Or like an aneurysm is so scary to me. There's a kid.
My water.
I think in high school, he was on a soccer team that had just a brain aneurysm.
Yeah, there was a kid in my high school. I had a librarian who had a son who was on the football team. Mm-hmm. Yep, aneurysm. I can't fucking talk either.
This person's username is Ghostly Dicky.
Hot.
Their account is suspended. Surprise!
If you enjoyed that little story, be sure to watch the full episode here.
And make sure you like, subscribe, and all that jazzy.
Jazzy? I see what you did there. Wait, what was that?